Before we begin, take a second, right now, hit subscribe, tap like, and drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is moving fast, and your voice matters more than ever. Tonight, something big is happening across America, and it is not quiet, it is not small, and it is not going away. Crowds are filling the streets, voices are rising, signs are going up, and one message is being shouted again and again: No kings. This is not just another protest. This is anger. This is fear. This is a warning from people who believe something is going very wrong at the top of the country. And at the center of it all is President Donald Trump. From New York to Los Angeles, from small towns to big cities, people are stepping out of their homes and into the streets. They are not waiting. They are not whispering. They are speaking loudly, clearly, and with emotion that is impossible to ignore. Why now? Because many Americans believe power is being pushed too far. They say this is not what democracy looks like. They say this feels different, stronger, heavier, like something is shifting in a way that could change the country forever. Some call it control. Some call it overreach. Some are even calling it something much stronger: rule without limits. That is why those two words are everywhere tonight. No kings. This is just the beginning. The streets are not just full, they are alive. People of all ages are walking side by side. Young voices, older voices, families, workers, students. Some are calm. Some are shaking with emotion. But all of them are focused on one thing. They believe power is being used in a way that crosses a line, and they are saying it out loud. No kings is not just a slogan. It is a message from history. It is a reminder of why America was built in the first place: to break away from rulers who had too much control. And now many people are asking a hard question. Is that happening again? There are chants rising through the air. Some people are calling for limits. Others are demanding change. And many are simply asking to be heard. They say decisions are being made too fast, too strong, without enough checks. They say this is not about politics anymore. This is about the future. And the feeling in the air is clear. This is not going to stop overnight. What makes this moment different is not just the size of the protests. It is the feeling behind them. There is a deep sense of urgency. People are not just reacting. They are worried. They are asking what comes next. They are asking how far things could go if no one pushes back. Some protesters are holding signs that speak directly to fear. Fear of losing rights, fear of losing balance, fear of losing the system they believe would always protect them. And that fear is spreading. Social media is full of videos, voices, and messages. The phrase "no kings" is moving fast, reaching millions in hours. It is not being controlled. It is not slowing down. This is what happens when people feel something deeply. They move, they speak, they gather, and tonight they are doing all three. Leaders are starting to respond, but the reactions are mixed. Some are standing with the protesters. Others are pushing back hard. Supporters of President Trump say these protests are overblown. They say the country needs strength. They say strong leadership is not the same as too much power. But critics are not backing down. They are saying this is exactly how it starts. Slowly at first, then faster. Then suddenly, it feels like there is no way to stop it. And that is what they fear most. Not just what is happening now, but what could happen next. The divide is growing, not just between leaders, but between neighbors, families, and communities. And in the middle of it all, one question keeps rising above the noise. Where is the line? As night falls, the protests are not fading. In many places, they are getting louder. Lights from phones fill the streets. Voices echo through buildings. The message is not changing. It is getting stronger. No kings. People are holding their ground. They are not rushing home. They are not backing away. They are staying, watching, waiting, and speaking. This is no longer just a moment. It is turning into a movement. And movements have power. They grow, they spread, they change things. But they also bring tension. They bring uncertainty. They bring moments that can shape a country for years. Right now, America is standing in one of those moments. And the next move from the people, from the leaders, from the president could change everything. This story is far from over. Now the focus turns to Washington. All eyes are on President Donald Trump. So far, the message from the White House has been firm. Strong words, clear tone. No sign of stepping back. Supporters say this is leadership. They say this is exactly what the country needs in a time of pressure and noise. They believe strength at the top keeps order on the ground. But the protesters see it very differently. They hear those same words, and they feel something else. They feel shut out. They feel pushed aside. They feel like their voices are not being heard. And that is what is driving them to stay in the streets. Because when people feel ignored, they do not go quiet. They get louder, and that is exactly what is happening right now. The message "No Kings" is now moving beyond the streets. It is entering homes, conversations, workplaces. People are talking about it at dinner tables, on phones, in quiet spaces, and loud rooms. And the country is splitting into two very clear sides. One side says this is about protecting freedom. The other side says this is about protecting order. Both sides believe they are right, and that is where things become dangerous. Because when two sides stop listening to each other, the space between them grows wider, harder, colder. And tonight, that gap is getting bigger by the hour. This is no longer just a protest story. This is a national moment. There's another layer to this story, and it is moving fast. Law enforcement is now watching closely. In some areas, officers are standing by. In others, they are stepping in. Not everywhere, not all at once, but enough to change the mood. Because when authority meets protest, tension rises, and people can feel it. Some protesters are staying peaceful, holding signs, chanting, standing their ground. Others are growing more intense, louder, more urgent. And in moments like this, all it takes is one spark, one moment, one mistake. That is what many are worried about tonight. Not just what is happening, but what could happen next. Across the country, leaders are being forced to choose sides. Some are speaking out strongly against President Trump, saying this moment proves their worst fears. Others are standing firmly with him, warning that these protests could lead to chaos if they continue to grow. There is very little middle ground, and that is what makes this moment so powerful and so risky. Because when leaders divide, the people follow. And when the people divide, the country feels it everywhere. Schools, jobs, streets, homes. No place is untouched. And right now, the pressure is building. This is where the story stands tonight. Crowds still in the streets, voices still rising, a message that refuses to fade. No kings. The country is watching itself in real time, watching how people react, watching how leaders respond, watching what happens next, because the next step matters. It could calm things down, or it could push things even further. Moments like this do not come often, but when they do, they leave a mark. And right now, America is writing one of those moments. This is not the end of the story. This is the turning point